I was a man with a plan, a solid, stable, and well-thought-out plan. At 32, I had built a successful career as an architect, designing skyscrapers that touched the clouds. I had the dream job, the dream house, and, until a week ago, I thought I had the dream woman too. Her name was Olivia Carter, 29 years old, a stunning brunette with emerald green eyes, a pediatric nurse who had this angelic, caring presence that made people believe she could do no wrong. Everyone loved Olivia. My parents adored her. My sister, Emma, once called her the best thing that ever happened to me, and maybe she was, until I found out the truth. We were a week away from our wedding. 1 damn week. The venue was booked, guests flying in, cake ordered. Olivia had picked out her dress months ago and couldn't stop talking about it. Every conversation for the past 3 months had been about floral arrangements, color schemes, and seating charts. I had even nodded along like an idiot when she explained the difference between blush and dusty rose bridesmaid dresses. But then, the truth came crashing down like a wrecking ball through my perfect life. It started with a missing ring, the disappearing ring. I came home late from a meeting, exhausted but excited to see Olivia. We were supposed to have a movie night, one last cozy evening before the madness of wedding week officially began. But as soon as I walked in, something felt off. The apartment smelled strange. Not bad, just different. A mix of expensive perfume and something I couldn't quite place. Liv? I called out. No answer. I walked into the bedroom and noticed her jewelry box wide open on the dresser. That was weird. Olivia was meticulous about her things. I glanced inside and saw something missing, her engagement ring. I felt a twinge of panic. Maybe she had taken it off while washing her hands. Maybe she had gone out and just forgot. Then I saw her purse still on the nightstand. Her keys. Her phone charger, and that's when I heard it, a soft shuffling noise, coming from the bathroom. The bathroom revelation. I walked towards the door, heart pounding. Maybe she was just taking a bath, maybe. A loud thump, followed by hurried whispers. What the hell? I grabbed the door handle and pushed it open, and there she was, Olivia, my beautiful, perfect fiancée, kneeling on the tiled floor, next to some guy with bloodshot eyes and a half-empty syringe in his hand. My brain short-circuited. At first, I didn't understand what I was looking at. It felt like some twisted dream, some horrible mistake. Olivia gasped. The guy, some scruffy, hollow-cheeked stranger, stumbled back against the bathtub, mumbling something incoherent. Jake, Olivia stammered, her voice thin and shaky. I can explain. Explain? I repeated, my voice deadly calm. What exactly do you think you can explain, Olivia? She looked at me with wide, guilty eyes. Her hands trembled as she shoved something behind her back. But it was too late. I saw it. A small bag of white powder. I felt my stomach drop. Not only was she cheating, but she was a damn addict. The chaos that followed. The room spun. My chest tightened. This wasn't happening. Olivia, the woman who spent her life saving children, was sitting on a bathroom floor with a junkie, a needle, and a bag of coke. I took a slow step forward. How long, Olivia? She didn't answer. How long? I barked. Tears filled her eyes. A year, maybe more. A year. My fiancé had been an addict for a year, and I had no idea. You're a nurse, I hissed. You swore an oath to help people, and you're sitting here shooting up in our damn apartment. Tears streamed down her face. Jake, I swear, I never meant for you to find out this way. I let out a sharp, bitter laugh. Oh, so the plan was to keep this little habit hidden forever? Were you planning to walk down the aisle high? She opened her mouth, but before she could speak, the junkie, the idiot who had just ruined my life, decided to chime in. Hey, man, don't be mad, he slurred. She loves you, dude. I snapped. I lunged at him, grabbed him by the collar, and slammed him against the bathtub. Who the hell are you? I snarled. His dazed eyes flickered in fear. Just a friend. A friend. I glanced down at Olivia, still on the floor, mascara streaked and shaking. I saw the way she avoided my eyes. And suddenly, I knew that he wasn't just a friend. I let go of him and took a slow step back. My entire body was trembling, my fists clenched so tightly that my nails dug into my palms. The engagement ring was still missing. And now I knew why. You pawned it, I said coldly, didn't you? Silence. That silence told me everything. She had sold the ring. The one I saved up for. The one I picked out with so much love and excitement. And she used the money to fund her habit. That was it. I was done. You know what, Olivia? I said, my voice eerily calm. You want to be an addict? Fine. You want to throw your life away? Fine. but you sure as hell aren't dragging me down with you. Jake, please. I turned and walked out. As I slammed the door behind me, I heard her sobbing. But I didn't care. She had already made her choice. And now, it was time for me to make mine. I spent that night driving aimlessly. No destination, no plan, just me, the road, and the slow realization that my entire life had been a lie. Olivia, my soon-to-be wife, was an addict. And not just an addict, a liar, a thief, and a cheater. I had replayed that moment in the bathroom 100 times. Her on the floor, the junkie, the missing engagement ring, and the worst part, the look in her eyes. She wasn't just ashamed. She was scared. Not of losing me. No, that would have made sense. She was scared that I had found out. That's what haunted me. The idea that if I had walked in just a few minutes later, she would have wiped her tears, straightened her dress, and gone back to pretending to be the woman I thought she was. She had been playing me. For a whole year. A year. That's what she admitted to. But what if it was longer? What if she had never been clean? What if I had been building a life with a woman I didn't even know? The questions gnawed at me as I pulled into a 24-hour diner on the outskirts of town. I ordered coffee, but I barely touched it. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. That's when I did something I hadn't done in a long time. I called my sister, Emma. The call that changed everything. Emma answered on the first ring. Jake, what's wrong? I hesitated. I hadn't even told her about the bathroom incident yet, but she could hear it in my voice. Liv's an addict, I finally said, my voice hollow. I caught her using in our bathroom tonight, with some guy. Dead silence. Then, after a long pause, Emma sighed. Jake, I need to tell you something. Something in her tone made my stomach clench. Tell me what? She took a shaky breath. I wasn't sure if I should, but I saw her a few months ago at a hotel. I froze. What? I didn't say anything because I wasn't 100% sure it was her, and I thought, God, I thought maybe I was overthinking it. But Jake, she wasn't alone. My heart pounded. Who was she with? Emma hesitated. It was a guy. I don't know who, but I saw them in the lobby. They looked close. Close how? I pressed. Like a couple. The air left my lungs. Emma rushed to explain. I wasn't sure, okay? I told myself I was being paranoid, but then I saw them get into the elevator together, and when I tried to ask her about it later, she acted totally normal, like nothing had happened. I gripped the edge of the table. You should have told me. I know, she whispered, but Jake, I swear I didn't know about the drugs. I had no idea she was using. Neither did I, and that's when the truth hit me like a brick wall. She had been cheating on me. I had been so focused on the drugs that I missed the obvious. Olivia wasn't just an addict. She wasn't just a liar. She was a cheating addict, the missing piece. I ended the call with Emma and sat there in stunned silence. If Olivia had been using for a year, and if she was with another guy at a hotel months ago, then that meant the man in my bathroom wasn't just a dealer. He wasn't some random junkie she met on the street. He was her lover. I felt like I was going to be sick. I reached for my phone again, my hand shaking as I scrolled through my contacts. I found Olivia's name, hovered over it. Then, at the last second, I called someone else. Her best friend, Lily. Lily and Olivia had been inseparable for years. If anyone knew the truth, it was her. The phone rang twice before she answered, her voice groggy. Jake, it's late, what's up? I didn't waste time. Lily, I need you to be honest with me. Has Olivia been cheating on me? A long, heavy pause. That was all the answer I needed. Lily, I pressed, my voice dangerously low. Tell me the truth. She let out a shaky breath. Jake, I can't do this. My blood went cold. So you knew? Silence. I clenched my jaw. How long? Lily's voice cracked. At least 6 months. Maybe longer. I closed my eyes, fighting back the rage building in my chest. Who is he? I finally asked. Another pause. Then, in a whisper, she said, Dr. Peterson. My eyes snapped open. What? She sniffled. Dr. Michael Peterson. He's a surgeon at her hospital. She took a deep breath. They've been seeing each other. My vision blurred. Dr. Peterson. Tall. Handsome. Rich. The kind of guy women threw themselves at. And my fiancé had been screwing him behind my back. The ultimate betrayal. It was like everything clicked into place. The late shifts. The overtime at the hospital. The night she came home too tired for anything. She had been lying to me. Every damn night. I gripped my phone so hard I thought it might crack. Did she ever love me, Lily? Lily's voice broke. I think she did, Jake. But she's messed up. She's been using for a while, and Michael, he enabled it. Enabled? I spat. He's her supplier, she admitted. He gets her the drugs. I nearly dropped the phone. Dr. Michael Peterson, a damn surgeon, was also a drug dealer, and my fiancé had chosen him over me. The betrayal burned through me like acid. I had never felt rage like this before. Pure, blinding, murderous rage. I hung up without another word. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my car, staring at the city skyline, thinking about all the ways I could ruin them both. They had played me, lied to me, humiliated me, and I was about to show them exactly why that was the worst mistake of their lives. It was time for revenge. I spent the rest of the night sitting in my car, staring at the city skyline, my mind racing through 1,000 scenarios. How do you destroy someone who's already rotting inside? How do you make a cheating, drug-addicted fiancé and her high society surgeon dealer feel the kind of pain they inflicted on you? I wasn't interested in a messy confrontation, screaming at Olivia, throwing her stuff out, making a scene that was too easy, too predictable. No, I wanted her to suffer. I wanted her to feel the weight of everything she had done, every choice she made, every betrayal she carried out behind my back. I wanted her to watch her world crumble around her. And as I sat there in the dark, gripping the steering wheel, I came up with the perfect plan. A plan that would destroy Olivia and her good doctor in ways they would never recover from. Step 1: set the trap. First, I needed leverage, evidence, something undeniable. So, I did what any man in my position would do. I became the villain in my own story. I texted Lily, "Me, does Olivia still think we're good? Lily, she doesn't know you found out about Peterson. She thinks you're just mad about the drugs. Me, perfect. Can you help me? Lily, what are you planning? Me, you'll see." I didn't wait for her response. I had work to do. I went back to our apartment before Olivia got home and did one thing that would change everything. I set up hidden cameras. One in the bedroom, one in the living room, one in the bathroom. I wasn't just going to catch her. I was going to document her downfall. Then, I sat back and waited. Step 2: the mind games begin. Olivia came home around 6 a.m., eyes bloodshot, hair a mess. She looked like she had been through hell. I pretended to be asleep. She crawled into bed next to me, her body trembling slightly. I could smell the faint traces of alcohol and sweat on her. I wanted to turn over and choke the truth out of her, but I played it cool. When I woke up a few hours later, I acted like nothing had happened. She made coffee. I took a sip. She smiled. I smiled back. She kissed me. I let her think she was safe. Let her think she had gotten away with it. That night, she left again. "Just a few errands," she said. "Last-minute wedding stuff." I kissed her goodbye. Then, I pulled up my phone and opened the hidden camera feed. And there it was. Less than 30 minutes after she left, my apartment door opened again. Dr. Michael Peterson walked in like he owned the place. Step 3: destroying the doctor. I watched them on the live feed. Olivia didn't even hesitate. They kissed in my living room. My goddamn living room. They went into my bedroom. My goddamn bedroom. I watched. I recorded. I took screenshots. Then, I started making phone calls. First, the hospital. I posed as a concerned citizen, someone who had information about Dr. Michael Peterson, one of their top surgeons. I told them he was prescribing opioids outside the hospital, selling them. They didn't believe me at first, so I emailed them the proof. Surveillance footage of him in my apartment, kissing Olivia, handing her a small baggie of pills. I included a detailed statement about how I had witnessed him providing drugs to my fiancée, a nurse under his supervision. Then I sat back and watched the dominoes fall. Within 24 hours, Dr. Michael Peterson was suspended. His hospital launched an investigation. His license was under review. Within 48 hours, the medical board was involved. His career was hanging by a thread. Within 72 hours, Olivia got a call from work. She was fired. She came home that night in a panic. "Jake, something's wrong," she said, pacing in the kitchen. "Michael's under investigation. Someone sent in a complaint. They think he's been selling drugs." She looked at me with wide, desperate eyes. "Jake, what if they come after me, too?" I sipped my coffee. "Oh, Liv," I said, voice dripping with fake concern. "That sounds terrible." She had no idea it was me. Step 4: the wedding day that never happened. I waited until 2 days before the wedding to deliver my final blow. That morning, Olivia was running around, making last-minute plans, oblivious to the storm that was about to hit. And that's when she got an anonymous email, with every single video I had recorded. Her in bed with Michael, them getting high, him handing her drugs, and the final kicker? A screenshot of my resignation letter from our apartment lease. I was gone. I had moved out while she was at work. The wedding was off. I had sent a message to every guest, every family member, every friend. The wedding is cancelled. Olivia has been cheating. The proof is attached. She had no idea what hit her. By the time she called me, sobbing and screaming, it was too late. I didn't answer. I was already on a plane to Mexico, drink in hand, enjoying the start of my new life. And Olivia? She was ruined. When I landed in Mexico, the sense of freedom hit me like a wave. It was a fresh start, a new chapter, one where I wouldn't have to carry the weight of betrayal around anymore. But back home, the storm Olivia had tried to outrun was about to engulf her whole life. I didn't need to hear from her anymore. I cut the ties, emotionally, physically, legally. The damage had already been done. But I couldn't help but smile as I pictured her reaction. Her world was about to implode. Olivia had never been the most emotionally stable person, but this was next-level chaos. The emails, the videos, the public humiliation. I had no doubt that her mind was spiraling. I made a decision that morning, sitting on a beach with my feet in the sand. I wasn't going back for a while. Let her stew in the mess she made. Let her face the consequences, and more importantly, let her realize that she wasn't the only one who could destroy lives. Olivia's breakdown. It was a Tuesday when Olivia finally reached out. Her phone call came through with a name I hadn't heard in months, Lily. She sounded frantic, like she was on the verge of a panic attack. Jake, you have to come back. This is bad. I can't fix it. I need you. Please, help me. I didn't answer. Instead, I just hit play on the recording I had made of her breakdown a few hours earlier. Her voice wavered as she spoke to Lily, clearly out of her mind. I thought he would never find out. I didn't think it would matter. I didn't think he'd do this to me. She sounded broken. She begged Lily to help her salvage what was left, begged her to reach out to my family, my friends, anyone who would listen. No one was answering her. She was a pariah, a woman with nothing left but her shame. I smiled. It felt like victory. I wasn't there in person, but I could hear the desperation in her voice, see her losing control in my mind's eye. She was losing everything, and it was all because she had tried to play the game she wasn't prepared to lose. The fallout. By the time Olivia realized that the wedding was off for good, it was already too late to try and salvage any dignity. Her phone was flooded with messages. Her mom, her dad, the wedding planner, everyone had gotten my email. Some of the replies were sympathetic, condoling her for being caught up in a bad situation. Others were disgusted. A few people outright called her out for what she had done. Her reputation was shattered. Her career, what little was left of it, was unraveling. No one at the hospital would talk to her, and Peterson had disappeared into the shadows. His life, too, was over. And Olivia? She was alone. She didn't have anyone to turn to anymore, not even Lily. The ultimate twist came when Lily, the one person Olivia thought was still loyal, reached out to me. Lily had known about the affair. She had known about Olivia's drug problem. She had been complicit, but she didn't want any part of the fallout anymore. She texted me, "Lily, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I shouldn't have helped her. I should have told you sooner. I thought you'd never find out." I was shocked at how easy it was to get her to spill the truth. Olivia had always been the one in control of their friendship, but now Lily was broken, too. She was terrified of Olivia's rage, but more than that, she was terrified of the consequences she herself was facing. She told me everything. How Olivia had been using her to cover her tracks. How she'd even helped Olivia cover up the times she had left me for Michael. How she had spent years in the shadows of Olivia's lies, always feeling guilty but never brave enough to speak up. Lily wanted to redeem herself, but Olivia was beyond help. Olivia's final plea. A week passed, and things started to settle. I had been living my best life in Mexico. The stress melted away, but Olivia wasn't done. She sent me one final plea, a message that shook me to my core. "Olivia, Jake, I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry. I know I destroyed everything, but please, can't we talk? I miss you. I miss the way you used to look at me. I need you. I don't know how to fix this." For a moment, I almost considered answering, but then I thought about the years of lies, the betrayal, the utter disrespect she had shown me. I deleted the message. No more. The aftermath. The phone call stopped. The messages dried up. Olivia had nowhere left to turn. The best part, I never had to see it. I never had to watch her cry in front of me. I never had to hear her plead for forgiveness. I let her deal with her mess. Let her try to pick up the pieces of the life she had destroyed. I didn't need to fix her. I was free, and I was damn proud of it. Weeks had passed since the day I left Olivia to drown in her own mistakes, and life had become so much clearer. My apartment was pristine, free of the chaos she had once brought into it. I focused on building a future for myself, one where she no longer had a hold on me. I had learned the hard way that life doesn't wait for your healing, it moves on whether you're ready or not. And I was ready, but while I moved forward, Olivia's world was still unraveling. The phone call. It was an ordinary Wednesday when I saw her name flash across my phone screen. A part of me wanted to just ignore it, to keep walking down the path I'd chosen. But there was still something inside me, some twisted curiosity, that made me swipe to answer. Jake, Olivia's voice was weak, barely above a whisper. Jake, I can't do this anymore. I let the silence stretch, knowing how this conversation would play out. Olivia, I finally said, my voice steady but cold. It's over. You've lost everything, and I'm not going to be your savior. Not now, not ever. She sobbed. Please, you don't understand. I lost my job. My reputation, the people I trusted, they all turned on me. Michael's gone. I have nothing left. I let her talk, but my mind was elsewhere. I had heard this sob story before, the desperate pleas for redemption, the act of being a victim when she was the one who had victimized me. I wasn't moved. I don't need your apologies, Olivia, I said, my voice sharper now. What you did was unforgivable. You took everything we had and destroyed it. You can't blame anyone but yourself. There was a long pause. Jake, I swear, she continued, almost frantic now, I was going to leave him. I swear, I wasn't thinking straight. Please, I just need you to tell me it's going to be okay. But it was too late. Her pleas fell on deaf ears. There was no going back. She had dug her own grave, and now she had to lie in it. Olivia's isolation. For a while, I didn't hear from her. Life was busy, work was demanding. But I knew from mutual acquaintances and the gossip mill that Olivia had fallen off the face of the earth. She couldn't get another job in her field. Her reputation in the medical community was beyond repair. The accusations against Michael had been enough to sink her career along with his. She tried to return to her family, but they had turned their backs on her long ago. Her friends had abandoned her. She had no one left. She had no power anymore. And that was when I got the second message, the one that proved how far she had fallen. Olivia, Jake, I'm sorry for everything. I was selfish. I thought I could have everything and keep it all hidden. I lost sight of what mattered. I don't even know who I am anymore. I've lost everything, and I don't know if I can fix it. I just need to know you're okay. Please, tell me you're okay. I didn't respond immediately. I took a moment to reflect on the journey I had just gone through, the gut-wrenching pain, the sleepless nights, the confusion. But through it all, one thing remained clear: I was better off without her. I had gotten my revenge, but I also realized something else: I didn't need her to feel validated. So, I finally replied, I'm fine. Better than fine, actually. And that's something you'll never get back. No more games. No more strings. I blocked her number. The legal consequences. I had been on vacation for a while, enjoying life, but things took another turn when Olivia tried to take matters into her own hands. She filed a lawsuit, claiming defamation and emotional distress. She tried to say that I had destroyed her career, ruined her life, and pushed her into the abyss. But by the time the case reached court, the evidence was stacked against her. I had proof of everything: the videos, the screenshots, the emails. And more importantly, I had witnesses, including Lily, who had come forward to expose everything. Her lawyer couldn't even make eye contact with mine. The case was dead before it even started. It wasn't just a loss for Olivia. It was a public spectacle. Her name was dragged through the mud in front of the press. The headlines wrote themselves: surgeon caught in drug ring with fiancé. Cheating scandal leads to career crash for high-ranking doctor. The damage was irreversible. And once again, I was left to reflect on the aftermath, how quickly she fell from grace. The final step. Months later, I sat in my new apartment, the sun setting over the horizon. It felt like I was finally looking forward, not backward. Olivia was no longer a part of my life. She had taken herself out of the picture. I had rebuilt myself. I had moved on. I had found peace in knowing that I didn't need anyone to validate me anymore. As for Olivia, she had tried everything to make amends, but it was too little, too late. Her addiction to drugs and her toxic need for validation had consumed her, and she lost everything she once thought she could control. In a twisted way, I felt some relief, but mostly, I felt free. Free from the lies, free from the betrayal, free from the chaos she had created. And in that final moment, sitting in my apartment, I realized something. I was stronger than I had ever been before. The aftermath. Olivia faded into the background. Her once promising future was replaced with loneliness and regret. She never truly bounced back from the devastation. But for me, it was a victory. The message was clear: never again would I let someone like her into my life. I had learned my lesson the hard way. And so, the chapter closed. I moved on with a clearer heart, a freer mind, and an unwavering resolve to never settle for anything less than I deserved.